So how many different bad namings of your band have you been called in? You were Illiterate.
Well, the thing we get the bad name occasionally, but it's more at this point just misinformation. So I'll give a quick story. We were at a radio station and we're sitting with a DJ it's like this, like we can see each other. You can see me, you can see Jake. Yeah. And they went to introduce us and they're like, we're so excited to have, this trio from New York, female fronted trio, Illiterate Light. Welcome to the studio. And we're standing there. Like, I'm like, I get it. You got duped on the internet, but at this point, you kind of got to open your eyes. So yeah, we're a rock duo, we're a rock duo called Illiterate Light. It's me and Jake.
Jake and Jeff.
Yeah.
Illiterate Light. That's who you're talking to right now. So you haven't heard of them? Get your ears out there. They're awesome. We'll talk about their music, but your music is really good. Like, I don't always like bands. There's a lot of bands out there. I love music. I love everything. Everybody knows I'm a Bjork junkie. I love Sigur Rós. I love anything from Iceland, but I also like you guys.
Cool. Thank you. We made the cut.
We've got a lot of crossover with Icelandic. Really? I wish. No.
We're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there.
Have you played in Iceland yet? No. Okay, but you've toured extensively.
We've toured we've played, I think, 44 U.S. states, and then we've done a good bit of Canada as well.
See, I love Canada.
Yeah.
Canada. I thought it was amazing. They're always so nice to you. The women are beautiful, and they're super polite. They're like, "Oh, sure thing. Yeah, I'm a number. Okay, I'll go back with you."
It's kind of the vibe in Minnesota and Wisconsin as well. You kind of feel like you're in Canada. But we've had great shows in Toronto, Montreal. Yeah, we've had some passport and tax issues that we don't really need to get into right now.
No, there's still being regulated.
Yeah, so we unfortunately, to our Canadian fans, I'm sorry we haven't been able to come back since 2022, but we're making it work.
Now I guess you're sort of the front singer, right? I guess, but I don't know, because that might be the star over there.
I think we all know that.
You're great.
Hey, thank you.
I've seen your shows. This guy's on fire.
It's an interesting setup. I'm playing guitar and bass with my feet, and Jake is, one of the only standing drummers that also crowd surfs, on the entire planet. So yeah, it's I'll say this: when we post our Instagram reels, one person performs a lot better than the other. So the internet has spoken. Jake's the winner.
Yeah, Jake, I'm pretty important.
You're very important. Yeah. So now you are a duo. It's not a trio front love show. So we're talking off camera about how you guys are like the only duo that matters from America. You're like, those White Stripes don't even count.
Not interested. Black Keys don't.
Simon and Garfunkel does not matter.
Yeah, I didn't know how old they were. Like, as far as I was like, what a great band from the 70s. Wait, the mid 60s.
Oh yeah, very.
Yeah. I grew up listening to that. My wife, that's the Paul Simon, which is really
legendary. We got to see Paul Simon had an amazing set at Newport Folk Festival in 2023.
Y'all play that festival too?
We did, yeah, and we just got to watch it. He was so present on stage. It was just it was
still amazing.
Yeah. So. He actually put out a record a couple years ago. Either called 7 Hymns or 9 Hymns. I'm actually blanking on the name, but it's like 7 or 9 songs, but it's just one 30-minute. Like, if you listen to it on Spotify or something, you can only listen to it like a record. It's really cool.
It's like one track.
It's like one track, which I thought was great.
So thinking about y'all's process and what you are, it's not a normal band.
Correct.
It's very different. I know you guys have toured in you're a sprinter. I don't know if that still is that part of the thing still.
Still running.
Has that got beds in it still?
Yeah. A lot of times at this point they're filled with gear and merch because we keep growing.
That's good. Yeah. You have the biggest posse I've seen, which is awesome.
We brought a drum set down here. Yeah, we brought a drum set for somebody here or for Charlotte. So yeah, we're carrying extra merch.
Really?
We're carrying like Jake's wheeling and dealing.
I'm giving out drum kits.
Yeah,
that's great.
How would you describe the music? Everyone's gonna go listen to it. Obviously, that's why. But how do you describe your music?
We, at the end of the day, we consider ourselves a rock duo. It's always. I find that the term indie is kind of a funny genre descriptor because for me, we are an indie band, but we're an indie band in that we're an independent band. It means we own our music and we make all of the decisions artistically and creatively about what we want to do. So indie now just means there's reverb. But it kind of, and we'll do.
You're not young children. There's an independent. And Bob, what you guys do? Sonic quality of the energy of what you guys do in show is definitely not is mainstream. Because I watched the Grammys and I wanted to throw up last week too. But that's another story. I can't get into why. So I don't want to get into too much trouble on the internet right now. But it's like you have that sort of that free for all like pavement from like the early 90s a little bit, which I think you probably have some.
Oh yeah,
But I can tell the drum in it now. It's cool. It's different than like the rock and roll we hear on the radio.
Yeah. We're not, because that's never really, at the end of the day, like the place that our music is going is the live show, And so I think in a certain sense, we're asking just, are our fans going to vibe with this and not, does this have radio or streaming viability, and so that probably keeps us in sort of that indie, the palette is like, we do like big reverbs, we do like, a lot of spatial effects, and but at the end of the day, it's kind of like there's like particularly for our live show, there's a real limitation, and so that is sort of what we're always pushing up against. I'm playing guitar, and then I play a synthesizer, a Taurus with my feet.
It's awesome. You're like in the Doors.
Yeah.
Hanging up. It's cool.
Yeah, for sure. And so I run, 2 different amps for that, a Marshall 100-watt and a Bassman. And then I also do my effect processing in parallel as well. And so certain sounds are going to certain amps. And so and on top of that, Jake's playing drums standing up with a pretty minimalist drum set, and he's got a sample pad. And so we're never playing to tracks, but he's able to cue some, like a key sound here and there.
That's something I did notice. There were no tracks. Like,
correct. Yeah.
Like you just had some hits that would.
Yeah. Everything's like a one-shot sample. Basically, I'll take the sound of Jeff's Taurus bass pedals and I'll for one song, and I'll put it on my pad so that when he solos or a chorus hits where he needs to focus on his actual performance, I take over on bass.
It's nice to play a solo and not play bass with your foot at the same time.
It's like flying a helicopter, watching you guys perform. So I was like, it's going to maybe crash.
Yeah.
It's fun when it crashes.
It is.
It will. You do crash.
Yeah, we do crash. Yeah.
You're not on the tracks. You're just a duo. It could fall apart.
Yeah.
And that's really fun, I think, of a live show.
We love we talk about it a lot, is like, it's the human element of music that is so exciting to us. It's the potential for failure or the biggest victory you've ever had. And it's kind of like getting up there and facing that each night and seeing, like, we have, a set list evolves. Every band will jump up there and play a different song or two each night. But like within our set list, an individual song might sound pretty different one night to the next, just because like something happens and we start it really slow, and then it's like, oh, let's go slow and sleepy on this one tonight. Or more likely, if it's live, it's about 20 BPM faster than expected.
And the spike problem. That is.
Yeah. So,
because you guys just played Poorhouse in Raleigh, North Carolina last night. Yeah. You sold it out.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. That's not an easy room to sell out. It's a big room. It's a good room. It's a live room. If you haven't been to the Poorhouse, check it out. If you're a Raleigh person, if you have played there, that's who sells out, these 2-year people. Now, you're talking about being an indie band. You weren't always an indie band. In a certain way, you were signed at one point, correct?
We signed to Atlantic on our first record. So, yeah, that came out in October of 2019. And honestly,
a really good record.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
That one song,
better than I used to.
I hate it.
Yes, I had ear candy.
It's not. It's more like an earworm. It just doesn't get out. I've been singing that. My kid, my one little 8-year-old will sing along with it sometimes. Yeah, I've heard it enough.
Yeah.
You little bastard.
Yeah, it's in there. Well, we funded the record ourselves, and we were able to link up with them, and we sort of shopped it around, and they expressed a lot of interest, and it was kind of funny because it sort of came out of the blue for us a little bit,
like a label.
Yeah, and like a major label,
exactly.
And like they have a amazing like rock and roll like history, obviously, but there's not a ton in the sort of space that we occupy on the label at the moment. So we were definitely feeling like we're not totally sure how this is going to go.
They're more of a pop label now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Eagle Eye View.
Yeah.
They had a few like, huge rock act, Coldplay, War on Drugs, like, but when we signed with them, there wasn't like oh, here's like 10 other kind of like up and coming rock bands that like we can have some community with. It was kind of like, I think we were probably like a risk that they took because Lizzo did really well. They're like, okay, we made a bunch of money on Lizzo.
Like Lizzo. So it's seriously, is it the? Well, I agree. I think you guys are like the cool jewelry.
Yeah.
You know, we work for like the massive pop artists. That's what pays the bills. And then like they put that in hoping one of those maybe, or they don't spend any time with you. I don't know how it works for y'all.
We ultimately had a positive experience there. Yeah, I feel like we never. Yeah, you know how it is. It's like you sort of work with the same people over and over again. Like the team there was awesome. Yeah, like
It's not that way all the time.
I know they treat us well. The contracts were fair. We have an amazing, like just not to nerd out on that stuff, but like you got to cover.
People care.
You got to cover your bases. Yeah, and so when we have one of the best attorneys in the music industry, and so that's a big part of it. Is true. So yeah, you got to protect yourself, and but no, we really at the end of the day, it was we split. It was amicable. It was we didn't.
That's
we just don't have a bad thing to say. Yeah.
Next, I have friends that were like some major like RCA and stuff, and they were out opening from Maroon 5 back in the early 2000s. Then all of a sudden, a new person comes in, drop the band, shelve the record. You can't release it.
Yeah,
band breaks up. Yeah. It's like it can be brutal.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing about just sort of the path that we've decided to take is like I've got a studio in my backyard that I built during the pandemic, and Jake's got a studio in Richmond, and
the Virginia boy.
And it's kind of like when we want to go make a record or make something happen, it's just like we just go and do it, like we don't have to send demos to somebody to get a team of people to, weigh in. And I just like the directness. I just like the pace that we can work as independent artists. Like
I think that's how artists are supposed to work.
That feels natural to us.
And maybe that might have been the system back in the day, like when you had it was studio system with lots of money and like you should live in the studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but paying whatever thousands of dollars a day, but now that's not the reality anymore.
Right. Yeah,
I can't afford it.
Yeah, it's because we don't buy music, and so you can't. Sometimes I laugh. I'm like, if you came to me and you're like, hey, I'm gonna invest $100,000 into and to go make this thing, and it's like, cool. What are you gonna make? It's like, I'm gonna make this thing that no one's gonna buy. You'd be like, you're kind of crazy, but that's music. Like
it has to be a purchased product, obviously now.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love the world we live in right now. I think there's greatness to it, but everything's on our phone. I have every piece of music accessible to me now.
Yeah.
Where I used to have to buy a CD, buy a tape, buy an album, and listen to it until like I could afford the next one.
Yeah.
So
it's changed. It's the whole thing has changed. And people do buy now. What we buy is an experience. When you go to a concert, you're buying a communal experience. You're you're paying for a ticket. And you're buying merch, and so I'm not sitting here to complain either. Like it's a total.
You've figured out how this.
Yeah, like we live in the new era. We've embraced it. We're
a brick and mortar retail shop, but if we didn't have the internet,
it
wouldn't be a brick and mortar retail shop anymore.
For sure. Yeah,
they're all out of business.
It's
the new world. Well, I first saw you guys at Derek's joint, the Neon Rooster, and I was just leaving another show, so I rushed over and got to see the second half, and I was like, whoa, this is. It felt like New York circa 2003. You're not old enough to know that.
The Strokes scene. I
mean, just like how that sort of energy of like young band making music with a lot of abandon and excitement, but there's songs. And there's a chord to it. And I'm not trying to give you guys too much of a back rub. You just had that in there.
Yeah. Amazing back rub chair.
You should have seen it over here. It was
a face we all want to make.
Only the bathroom or his wife can see. That's Cindy, very beautiful. So those in your, eyes there.
It's true. I'm taken.
Yeah, like sorry, meet Taser really wordsmith.
I love it.
So the thing I didn't know about you guys either is that you're also self-adoring gearhead nerds. Yeah, which is weird. Like, that's not cool.
No, that's not cool at all. I love gear so much.
I would get him in here. We're trying to like get in the studio to shoot this.
I know. Well, you know,
He has talked to you afterwards, Sean. He's pedals and everything.
this is, yeah, at this point, it's like my goal has been for such a long time. All right, this is the nerdy stuff. For such a long time, we go out on the road and I'm lugging all of my equipment every time we get off of the road and we want to go write and work on new music, or I want to go in the studio. It's just literally the process of unpacking the van, unpacking all the equipment and stuff like that, to know I'm going to pack this back up in 2 weeks when we go back out on the road.
Yes.
It grinds at you, and it halts your creative process. And so I'm finally at the point now where I'm buying things just for the studio.
It's like a duplication.
Oh my God. And so I walk in, I'll get home tomorrow evening and I'll walk into the studio and I've got a Marshall 50 watt, it's basically the same amp that I tour with. And I've got my jazz course and a totally crazy pedal board. And so I can just go in and just start working. So
that's the things, like, even like not being on the phone a cable, like Derek will attest to this, like, we come in here and he's for video production. If stuff's missing, you can throw the whole thing in play.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, I just don't want to do it now.
Yeah.
You know, or even if I have a guitar in the case, someone's like, I just don't want to play.
Yeah.
Let's sit here and watch Netflix instead.
It's amazing. So you got to fight it. You know, you got to make it. So that's made me a total gear nerd, because now I can actually have gear that doesn't just live in our van. And I like the companies, and I like, it's
cool. Like, it's fun. You get invested in the personalities that make
exactly.
We do too. Like, we're telling you guys about Casadosa guitars and Echo Park guitars.
Yep.
Bob off camera. And like, we love the weird creative geniuses behind these things.
Total.
Almost as much, or hate them almost as much as the gear as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depending on the day. Because like, oh, I love it. Oh, I hate it. I love it. But that's the fun of this world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And interesting, like, our band, the way we play live is so deeply rooted in the gear choices that we've made that it's like, for sure. It's really hard for us to do like a fly date and like fly out to LA and play, because there's not a backline company that's going to have a Taurus and is going to have like the weird stands that I need to make my drum set high enough.
You almost have like marching band set up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I have a backline guy here if you ever need it. He's based out of Surrey. He has all that stuff. He's crazy. He's really expensive.
But yeah, it's like, I think when we started the band, like, we've always been just like total gear nerds. Like, how do we make all the sound that we want to make live has been the question from the start. As a duo, how do we do it in front of people without, we want the show to just feel like a rock show. We don't want it to be like,
that's what I think the audience,
yeah.
I'm weird about it. I don't mind if I go to a pop show and there's tracks and stuff playing, but when I go to a rock show, I want to see like you guys cut loose, do different stuff, and just make the sounds that you can make as close as you can on the records with two of you.
Yeah.
And so if you can do it, fight that. So back to creative process. How do you guys create songs?
It's morphed a little bit. There's so often, so many songs come from a quick jam here and there. Like, there's always in sound check something that comes up. We don't write on the road much, but it's like, you're just sort of warming up, and then a riff comes, and then it's 5 minutes on something, and everybody's walking around with a microphone in their pocket. So we sort of catalog that, but and then we'll take those riffs back into the studio and actually start to unpack things. But we both also write independently pretty heavily.
You bring it together.
Yeah, for sure. We really craft stuff together in the studio.
Because a lot of times if you're like the primary singer, you write everything, but it doesn't feel like that way with this.
There's a total interplay. Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of songs. Yeah, we spent last week. We had 5 or 6 new. Jake's gonna kill me because now I'm breaking into yet another new open tuning, and every open tuning has to have its own good guitar. I know.
it just means another guitar case that I have to load in there.
Yeah. So right now I'm on a Rain Song tuning kick, which I don't actually know how to play the Rain Song, but I know that
I learned to play the Rain Song.
This is the tuning for it. Yeah. So it's D.
Drew learned the Rain Song. I learned it in standard tuning because I didn't know because I'm old enough, there wasn't in the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that'd be really difficult.
Well, and it wasn't right, but it was the closest approximation I could. It's like I did that I didn't know there was tunings, and I didn't know there was open tuning. You just learn.
It's a really cool it seems like kind of like almost a Celtic tuning, but it's just been awesome, and just kind of, like 5 new song ideas are popping up.
I'll throw this at you. This is a gear creation idea. Have you started working with baritones yet?
A song on our new record, Montauk, is on a baritone, a Fender Squire baritone, actually.
Yeah, we love those.
It's so sick, man. It's like
Fender Squire 12 strings, amazing as well.
Okay, well, I wanted to get one of those, and I was a little curious. Yeah,
Literally 2 days ago. It was on.
Nice.
Like,
That's
bud, one of the best 12 strings.
That's sick.
Oh, it's killer. Fender's been awesome. Shout out, yeah, and got the artist endorsement.
Cool, nice, like young person shout out how you did that. It's good. I couldn't like that has been awesome. Shout out.
I don't know. Yeah. So I love them.
No, Fender's cool. Like we that's obviously our major brand that we work with. And we've loved Fender since day one and since day past one. But they make some great. Obviously, the custom shop we love. That's our main thing. We love their Squires.
Yeah, they're rad, man.
Classic buys. We like the Player 2s. We like
Yeah.
The American Vintage series is amazing.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about like the digital stuff. Like that's not really what you are gonna need.
No, but I always am curious to just like kind of nerd out on some stuff here and there. Yeah, like
It's a fun nerd out thing. I don't know if it would fit what y'all
Yeah.
do necessarily. And then if you spill beer on it, I think it's toast.
Yeah, that would be a problem for me.
Yeah, I think so. I see. But in the song for just Jake running over there when he's like getting his little tomahawk attacking him. Yeah, what is that? I just made it up.
We endorse Guinness as
Yes, yeah,
it is ours to us, but we
always drink Guinness.
yeah.
the rider is as many Guinness as you can put backstage.
We almost got kicked out last night. We brought our own Guinness in because they didn't have any. But
Were they weird about that?
no, they weren't weird about it. I think they just thought that we might shut down their business by getting their liquor license pulled. So they had
All those finicky bars.
it's just like.
They don't want to go out of business. Listen, like we asked them to provide us some Guinness, and they forgot.
So we did it.
You provided yourself, did you? Because we endorse Guinness.
Boom.
You go to Ireland and add it at the Guinness factory.
Not yet.
It is a life change.
Yeah, it's on the radar.
You think Guinness is good now? It is game over.
Awesome.
It is it's so cold. The taps in Ireland, UK. Shout out to all of our UK people and Irish people, because I know it's not the same thing unless you're in the north. And then some of them think it's the Republic too. It's confusing.
Yeah,
I know. Been frying forever, whatever. I don't know what that means. I did. But no, but it's amazing. The beer there, even Carlsberg, for some reason in Ireland is better.
Yeah.
It's American bars, get it together. Cold taps.
I know.
Clean them more.
Yeah. But we're getting there. So yeah, we endorse Guinness. We love gear. We got to give another shout out. I know this is more guitar based, but Sugar Percussion.
No.
Out in Portland. Awesome, amazing.
Take care of you.
Yeah, I've been playing one of their snares for the last 2-3 years, and it's hard to put any other snare on my kit.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have a very distinct sound that would be hard to, like you said, hard to replicate with just standard gear.
Yeah.
Where if you shot just Blues Junior and you could do it with Blues Junior, but you got weird stuff.
Yeah.
And pedals inside.
Yeah. Lots of pedals. Definitely a pedal junkie. If anybody's looking to, get me to review stuff, hit us up at Illiterate Light on Instagram. I'll put it on the board. I think I have like 20 pedals on the board at the moment.
That's insane.
And I'll give my final shout out. I really love the Third Man stuff. I've been loving the Jack White rollout.
I feel like you're like MC Hammer, right?
Dude, I just gotta I'm not hitting any people. I'm not hitting like my family right now. I think the whole Third Man, everything that they've been working on has been just really cool.
Third Man's been killing it. Jack White obviously kills it. We love everything he's done. His launch with Fender has been the best stuff Fender's done in decades.
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome.
We kept on ourselves. We're gonna keep it. I'll keep it pound verb eventually. Yeah, once we're done selling them. But that was great. So before we wrap up, everybody make sure you click like and subscribe and all that junk. But check out Illiterate Light out there on the road. Check them out on the website. Check them out on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you stream on. They're also going to be here. They're going to do a song for us later on a different video, so you got to watch that. What's next for you guys? What's coming up? And then let's hear it.
We're playing Charlotte tonight, and then we've got a couple weeks to sort of chill, write. And we kick off and head down to Texas. And we got a great run. Some Tex-Mex. We're hitting Houston, Austin, Dallas. And then we're doing 3 weeks in Colorado. And it's great because we just found out we're going to be coming back to Colorado in August and playing Red Rocks for the first time. Should be super fun.
Playing the Red Rocks.
Yeah. August 7th, baby. So we're gonna do 2 or 3 weeks out in the mountains this winter, and we'll snowboard and play all these sort of rad mountain towns.
If you can get through this.
Yeah, it's a little dangerous. 2 nights in Telluride.
Yeah, I'm the go-to ice driver.
I feel like you're the responsible one of this.
I'm glad that's.
I'm glad that's coming across. You guys,
What you do the show? What? Yeah. No, but I mean, like this. My final like massage. It's like if anybody's from that generation of mine, like the old people generation, they get the energy of. Have you heard the band called the Secret Machines?
oh yeah, love Singer Mission. He's around.
Reminds me of that. Like you're not like them, but the energy that we did shows with them years ago, back in the day. You know they lost a member years back. It was devastating, but one of the best live shows I've ever seen. You guys are one that had that feeling when I saw it, because I've seen a lot of live shows. It can be boring.
Yeah,
it was awesome. So thank
you, man.
Here.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Keep destroying the universe out there with sound, and go see their shows. It's unbelievable. Buy their vinyl. They're cool. It looks neat on your wall. That's it. The boys, the JJs from Illiterate.
I'll see you out there. Illiterate Noise.
Or the other one.